I do think that Canadians should be working on if we're going to be known as the nice guys, I think we need to remember that. I think we need to carry ourselves that way in conversation. Times are hard. If we are the light, then let's go back to whatever those roots are. I think right now we've all got spicy. We're off our, I don't know, we just don't feel a centered, balanced, whatever, and we're not carrying ourselves as we should be.
Just know, if you guys ever want a long-term place, Fiji is known as the nicest place in the world.
The mediocre dentist, the mediocre dentist. 'Cause sometimes you just feel mediocre. The mediocre dentist, the mediocre dentist. I am mediocre, you are mediocre, and that's not that bad.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Mediocre Dentist. This is part 2 episode. I am your American host, Dr. David Gallagher.
And I am your slightly more awesome Canadian co-host, Dr. Andrea.
And this is part 2, USA versus Canada. USA, USA, USA.
Whatever. You're so loud
So,
and obnoxious.
I think the word that you're looking for is winner.
You won a game. You don't win at life.
And life.
And life,
And economy.
as per what you're told anyway.
So part 1 was kind of our nice version of USA, Canada.
Isms.
The things
Yes.
that are different.
Yeah.
Fahrenheit. We didn't even talk about
We didn't do
Fahrenheit, Celsius.
Yeah, that is a tricky one.
That's a tricky one.
The conversion
I actually have to
isn't
have
clean.
an app on my phone to talk to you.
I know. We kind of are understanding what like 70 feels like versus.
You wouldn't think that it's so hard. We're just a
really
few miles
hard.
away
I
from
know.
each other.
I
And yet
know.
we're different
Miles?
cultures.
How many kilometers?
How many kilometers indeed?
It's complicated.
So in the first, for those who didn't watch it, go back and watch that episode. If you didn't, big difference. Obviously, we are 10 times the size
Yes.
of population,
Many
but you
more.
are bigger mass land size.
Yeah. Much
we
bigger.
use Fahrenheit, you use Celsius. We have the correct spellings of words like composite. You say composite, that's wrong. Our Kit Kats taste better.
We add the U's.
Most of our food tastes better.
We had the U's to the O's.
Yep.
Yep.
We talked about the hockey showdown. That's all recap of. Now let's
Too
talk
soon.
about 3 differences that I put down.
Only 3.
3 major ones that I really want to get into that are
Let's
pretty
do it.
obvious. Let's go right at it. Healthcare.
Ooh.
Grandma, Booby Rosie.
This is evolved. Okay, yeah,
David's
fine.
grandmother.
This is facts.
Married a Canadian
Yeah.
in the 90s.
Using him for the healthcare system.
Literally, because
It's
he didn't look
possible.
like much.
Yeah, no.
Sam was
I
not a
know.
looker. He kind of looked like an egg.
She's a smart
It was
woman.
a second marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, ugh, I don't see it, Grandma.
And usually it's like first time. Is it first time for money, second time for love? forget.
I don't know. This is actually my grandma's 3rd marriage, to be
Oh,
honest.
shit.
If I'm going to be clear, she didn't like to be alone.
Jesus.
She, I think my
Saucy
grandfather
one.
died in 70, and 2 years later she was hitched. That guy died. 2 years later, another one.
Bing, bang, boom.
Grandma Booby didn't
Didn't mess around.
She survived Holocaust, so she had survivor skills.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she's like, we need a man in this. We need a man in this house. And when she met Sam, she's like, God damn, free healthcare.
Yeah.
Boom. She picked up, moved to Canada, and she wouldn't come visit us anymore. We
Yeah.
had to go visit
She
her
didn't wanna
because she
lose
would
that
not
right.
leave. She'd lose her healthcare.
Yeah. No.
So my image coming into our relationship
Yeah.
was like, ooh, free healthcare.
Maybe.
I like it. Because since Obamacare, I'm paying about $3,000 a month, $3,200 a month.
Yeah, it's no joke. Yeah, that's a no joke situation. But and I do remember when we first started dating, I would brag. I'd be like, we've got it made in the shade. Like that was a source of pride for Canadians.
Yeah.
As
Turns
time,
out,
as time has gone on,
your healthcare
we've
stinks.
become a third world country. You cannot get, antibiotics sometimes or certain medications. Finding a GP, it took me 3 years. There was 3 years I could not find
could not get a doctor to accept her, Sean.
as a patient. I had to almost jump in on my grannies and beg.
Your hygienist got you in,
I
called in a favor.
even when I was first looking for one in Port Moody, which is where one of my practices is, I remember having to be pregnant with Arshawn to be like, I have a kid coming into this world. Somebody's going to have to look after us. And only under those circumstances would they get me in.
Doctors in Canada don't want to work. I had a gallbladder incident.
Yes.
Within a week, I'm on an operating table. It could have been the same day if I wanted to.
100%.
Your mother, my mother-in-law,
Yep.
She had a gallbladder. They were like, cool, we'll book you in
And
6
you
to
could
10
get
months.
bumped. You could get bumped day of. It happens. It's expected. Like it's a wild system. Going to like the ER, or if something emergent happens to you, God help you. People have been known to like die in emergency, be out in hallways, not even be able to get a room. Like it's expected that you're going to be waiting there 6 to 10 hours just to be seen. Like it's wild.
The Canadian doctors don't want to work.
We don't have enough of them. We do not have enough nurses. They are overworked. I totally get that.
When doctors don't get to bill
When you
and
don't-
they
yeah.
don't get to earn and they don't get to make money for seeing a lot of patients, they're like, I'll go home at 4.
Yeah.
They get the same salary whether they go home at 4 or go home at 8.
Yeah.
Might as well go home at 4.
Yeah.
A couple of crazies, like I've been visiting doctors. We had an episode called
right.
Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes.
Yes.
Anytime you're fascinated, I just decided I wanted to go to urologist, get a checkup, check how the pipes are doing.
Going tomorrow.
I Googled one, Sean, found one in Summerlin, called up, made an appointment tomorrow. That is a foreign concept for you.
To the point where I was like, I want to try this whole American thing.
We could just call, Sean, we could just call doctors
No.
and then go.
You know what
Within
happened
the
to
day.
me? What happened to me yesterday? We're at the airport, and what did I remember that I had forgotten?
Remind me,
My precious.
what's it called?
You know what it's called.
I don't know what it's called.
All I talk about this season because it is my precious.
No idea.
Progesterone. Is it how many times what are you doing?
Nothing. Okay.
What's happening?
So how can you get
What did you
progesterone?
ping for?
Nothing. What progesterone are you talking about?
Are you gonna ping again? Is it every time I say the P word?
What?
Progesterone? Are you keeping track?
You see, if you'd watched the podcast,
I don't.
you would know that for the last half a season,
Yeah.
every time you say the word progesterone,
Yes.
which is very often,
Yeah.
Sean and I have a counter going on YouTube.
What's it at? Oh my God, actually?
Yeah,
What is it at? It's got to be at 1,000.
it's a lot.
It's a lot. Okay. Well, anyways, I forgot my progesterone. Yeah, okay. You don't have to do it. Just let it happen on YouTube. I
can't believe she knows
was
about
ready.
it now, Sean.
That
I'm sorry. She
you
asked
gave it
directly.
away. You gave it away. Who fucking? I thought you had a tick. Okay. I forgot, and to the point where I was going to drive back home to get it, and potentially
progesterone.
you do too, because I burn up at night. So you
I don't
experienced
like
it. You don't like
I
that.
don't like you hot. I don't like you hot.
So if
can't
I
even
take the
function.
progesterone, then I'm not hot.
Oh.
I was trying to
I like
help
that.
you.
Yeah, I like that.
Anyways, now I forget the story.
That
'Cause I haven't been having my
'cause you can't
progesterone,
go to
so
a
I'm
doc-
back to
But
brain
if you
fog.
wanted to, I could call a
could've
doctor
gone.
here and you could go tomorrow.
I could have got it today.
And they would just be like, "Hey, doctor, I need progesterone," and they're like, "Cool. Do you
But
want
I'm
some
a
weed
proud,
too?" And
I'm
they'd
a
be like, "Cool,
proud
come."
Canadian, so I will accept my mediocre healthcare, and I will suffer without my progesterone.
It's crazy. I hear the healthcare in Canada is insane, and you guys aren't even talking about it.
I think no, we're talking about it.
Like it's okay.
Those of
Sean,
us-
your kids go to the
yeah.
pediatrician. My kids go
My
literally
kids
every
don't.
6 months.
My kids
My kids go 4 to
never
5
go.
times a year. Sniffle, a cold, a fever, a sore throat. Take a strep test. Take a flu test. They go get 2 checkups a year, every year for 20. Moshe's 23 years old. 23 years old. The Canadian children, Arshawn, Aaron, Arya, have never been to
That's
a
not true.
pediatrician.
That's not true. Not that they never have, because Aria was a NICU baby, so she did have a pediatrician back
The
in
last
the day.
4 years, have they ever been to a pediatrician?
Not once.
5 years.
No.
10. I was like, what if the kids get sick? And she's like, I don't know. We'll just look at them.
Oh my God. We go to ER. We go to the ER. And then we wait in line.
Ari was in
Remember
ER last
Ari?
year.
I know. And she was barfing her.
If you had a
they didn't even do
pediatrician,
anything.
the pediatrician would be like,
We
take some ice, like,
literally-
do this, then come over. It's crazy. You
literally-
don't have doctors.
She barfed, and they gave her a thing to barf into for like 10 hours before.
You had COVID at one point, and at one
So
point
many
during the
times.
night, you had like
I was COVID patient
104
one.
fever.
No, I don't know if it was COVID, but I had something.
You had
intense.
103. I came
100
home
104. I
from
was
America,
delirious. I was
and you were
fully
at
delirious.
103. Nobody to call. No doctor.
It's also pretty crazy. In Vegas, they have a good amount of urgent centers.
They do.
Urgent care centers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Care center, and they literally have their wait times, and it says like 1 minute.
I know. I saw that and I was like, Jesus, why can't
In
I have a
Canada, they would
fever
have a
down
sign
here?
that said 1
What would
year,
it cost me to go?
2 year.
No, it's no joke. You want to get a surgery? Like if you're looking to get your hip replaced, imagine you were in debilitating pain. You cannot walk properly. You could wait upwards of a couple of years to get that hip replacement. That's just expected. Unless you can afford to go down to the States or something like that. So that has been an
Economy.
interesting flipperoo because I used to say that was 1 point Canada. And
It's not even like we don't even have to debate it. I'm actually sad for Canadians. It's
I've been
really
I've been
bad.
looking into how I can get onto your medical insurance. But
I would love to have you on
I
medical
can't. I
insurance.
can't. It would seem.
Next topic
it's
I
a
put
big
down:
one. Yeah.
economy.
Oy. This one's so interesting though because depending on who you ask and what side of the aisle they're from, they're going to give you a different.
So we're just gonna go with Google.
And we're gonna go with Google. Okay.
The U.S. economy is currently performing better than the Canadian one. Just the
Yes.
dollar alone will
Yeah.
tell you.
Oh, the
U.S.
well,
dollar.
but there's 10 times.
$1 U.S. is equal to 1.40 Canadian. It's almost at an
Fine.
all-time high.
Yes.
So that means that the Canadian dollar is weak.
Yes.
Personally, I can attest to when I used to do investments. I do investments for dentists.
Yes.
We had a company called Backed by Dentists.
Yes.
To get it, people invest
Not
in a
had,
toothpaste.
have.
We have, sorry.
Yeah.
We have them. To get the Canadians to invest, there were so many hoops.
I know.
And so many things to
Yeah.
jump to. Most of the Canadians were like, I was at on two of the investments, I'm like, it just doesn't pay for me to include you.
Yeah.
You cannot buy this lottery ticket to invest in me. Your government prevents you
From being able to.
capitalism. Crazy.
Well, we are socialistic.
I got
after all.
some actual
Yeah.
statistics. The U.S. economy is
Oh.
currently performing better than the Canadians one. Stronger GDP, lower unemployment, higher productivity. So
You have
we
lower
are
unemployment. Yeah, I would say ours is around 6, like across the board, right? 6 point something.
so we're 2 points less
points
than you. That's a
less.
big difference.
It's a massive difference.
The U.S. is outpacing economic growth fast. Now, here's the crazy part.
yeah.
Let's go by GDP. That stands for
Yeah,
gross
GDP,
domestic
yeah.
product. It's how basically people say whether your
Yep.
economy is growing or not. We are growing really, really well.
I think you were at like 33 trillion.
Something like that. 30.
And we're like,
I don't have that number. I had that number. I lost it.
I think ours was like 1 to 3.
Here's crazy
Yeah.
GDP stats. 2022
Yeah.
growth. We're still
Yes.
growing. Neither
Yes.
one shrunk.
No, but
Neither one is
it's
negative.
Like how much is it
When you're
growing?
negative, you're recession.
Yes.
So in 2022, your economy grew by 4.2%. We grew by 2.5%.
That was 2022.
You were kicking our ass, basically double. 2023, we jumped to 2.8. You went down to 1.5.
That's staggering. I think Canadians are fake.
This is gonna be
no,
good.
This
Get
is
on your soapbox, sister.
I will
Let's
get
hear
on
this
my
one.
soapbox. I will preface this with I am a proud Canadian. I think I live in the most beautiful country in the world, bar none. From a nature standpoint, what we have to offer, it is an exquisite place to live. And so my allegiance is to Canadians. Having said that, this past few years specifically, and watching from the Trump derangement syndrome to people, the cruel people, like one of my university professors, like, celebrating someone saying, oh, we just missed by 1 inch or whatever, alluding to the fact that, Trump was almost taken out and being happy about that, exercising the ability from, their cushy little home to have stances about whether it's Trump, whether it's talking about Palestine, things that they don't even know much about, and getting on their soapboxes and in really aggressive, mean ways. It's just been very interesting. That we want to talk about other things like MAID. Like there's just a lot of things that are in place right now, and there's a lot of ways in which Canadians are acting both at the big and small level that is very concerning to me. And I don't see the same things happening in the States. And yeah, so this is an interesting time for me.
Yeah, I want to follow up on 2 things that you said.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the economy first. So let's
Yes,
talk
sure.
about what happened. So Trump
Yeah.
comes in and he says there are going to be tariffs all over the place. It wasn't just
Yep.
versus Canada.
Yep.
It was versus every country.
was across- yeah.
Why? Because
Yeah.
he's a businessman. And he saw, we've always had an inequality in importing, exporting. And he's like, there's no reason why we don't need their stuff. We should
Yep.
put tariffs on it. It's a business move. It's not personal. It's a business
And
move.
America first is
And
like
America,
the sentiment.
why
yeah.
why should we be losing economy? Like our economy should be good. If you want us to drive your cars, use your stuff, you're going to pay a tariff. Most countries tariff our stuff going in,
Yes.
and we don't tariff their stuff coming out. So he's like, we're going to level the playing field.
Yeah.
The Canadians took it so personally. Instead of negotiating, instead of work, every country negotiated with him, and they got it to something. The Canadians took it so personally. You
Yeah.
mentioned it a few times in part one.
Yeah.
But in Canada, when this tariff thing came out, instead of negotiating, instead of
Yeah.
saying, let's work it out, let's talk about it, they adopted this policy called elbows up.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what elbows up is.
It's just like, I don't even know how to explain it fully, but it's just like, screw you, America. We're elbows up. Like, I think
Elbows
it's a,
up.
it's
I
a
think
hockey
it's
reference.
a hockey thing. Like,
It's a
Sean,
hockey
you're walking
reference.
through and you're like,
'Cause
elbow up.
That's our
punch
thing,
him in the
right?
face.
Yeah.
So
That we're going to strike back. I think
You're
we were
gonna
just trying to
strike back.
show
So
our,
they strike
our
back.
strength. Okay, we became more patriotic. It was a cute thing for a minute.
here's what it said.
Yeah.
This is from Google.
Yeah.
The boycott.
Yes.
So Canadians go elbow up. We're no longer buying American products.
Yeah. They stopped
No
buying
longer
like
doing.
orange
Not
juice,
buying American
everything.
products. We're not shelving
Oh.
American products. We're not doing American products, which was a playbook from the 80s when the U.S. had a trade war with Japan, and they were like, buy American made, which actually won. America won, and Japan went into a crazy recession. But it was just an economic thing. It was like, just support your own country. The Canada one was just to show us, just to punish
Let's
us.
just stick it to you. Even my daughter, by one of her classmates, my daughter likes fishy crackers. I did not know they were made in America.
Yes.
My daughter brought them to school. One of the girls in her class chastised her and said, "You must love Trump if you're going to eat those fishy crackers." And I was like, you know what? It took every part of me not to go in there and be like, you know what? Lay off. This is so childish. It is so unbecoming. I am all for Canadian pride. It's nice to see the Canadian flags up. I would love for there to be an authentic source of Canadian pride. I hate that it got backed and started on this very infantile movement. I'm not saying that Trump's hard, like Trump makes it hard to.
Okay, he's
It's the way he
ineloquent.
he's
okay,
ineloquent.
It's a tariff war. We're separate countries. It's a business move. That's it. Negotiate like every other country did.
Exactly.
They went elbows up.
We
Here's
went
what
elbows
happened.
up.
Here's what happened.
We got
So imagine,
hard.
Sean, I'm like, Monday, Tuesday,
Yeah.
Wednesday, I'm in Vancouver. Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, I'm in New York.
Yeah.
Everyone in Vancouver is like, we're not doing any American products. We stopped drinking Coors Light. We're not using Heinz ketchup. And we're not
Literally no
drinking
American
orange drip.
alcohol.
Where
Yeah.
everything's going. I heard Heinz is going bankrupt. Then I fly back to New York and I'm like, anybody hear anything about Heinz? They're like, yeah, it's fine. Stock, public stock. We hear anything about Coors Light? Yeah, they just posted record numbers. Like nobody noticed, nobody cared. Here's what did happen. Because Canada stopped using American products and stopped importing them, their GDP shrunk by 2.6%, $78 billion. The cost of living in Canada went up.
no shit.
$1,900 per Canadian.
I'm living that hell.
You cannot get orange juice and certain orange juice, Jim Beam, alcohol went up, and wine. Like those three things, now Canadians pay an incredible amount because they're trying to boycott to teach America a lesson, punish their own
we're
citizens
punishing
for no
ourselves.
reason. Our economy is humming.
I mean, I'm even starting
Stock
to know.
market's up.
I know. Well, whatever it is. I mean, I guess it depends on who you ask. Because even when I speak to some Americans, really like get into Facebook debates, you name it. Depending on what side of the aisle you're on, some people will say America's still trash right now. So whatever.
You can say it's
You're
trash.
saying
I'm just going. Stock market's up. S&P's up.
Yeah.
Dollar strong. 70. How
I
about this
cannot
one? Listen to
take
this
that
one.
from you.
78% of Canadians reported that the trade war and boycott
Yes.
reduced the affordability of goods.
Yeah, of course. Not 78%, 100%.
So what do you guys do?
And what else does it do? Who are we now getting into bed with?
China.
China, communist China, human rights violations China. And these same people who want to stick it to Trump, you think he's bad? You think ICE is naughty? Fuck me what they're doing to millions of marginalized populations. Millions of people.
So healthcare,
Yes. We got
Economy.
healthcare, economy.
let's just talk about the liberalism that's going on right now in Canada. See, in the U.S., we have liberal and we have conservative, and they hate each other,
yeah.
and they're going at each other. Fox is one way, CNN's the other way. Republicans are one way, Democrats are the
These
other
are
way.
hot
Charlie
topics.
Kirk is one thing, Candace Owens the other one.
Tucker.
Tucker, okay, so you have two
No, you
conflicting
got,
people.
No,
There's a strong
She cray-cray.
right-wing contingent and there's a strong left-wing contingent.
Yes.
And they hate each other.
Yep.
And they are coming at each other at levels I've never seen before.
No,
I used to get worried about it, and then I remember that Alexander Hamilton was killed in a duel, so can't
Yeah.
be as bad as it used to be. I guess they used to shoot each other. At least we don't shoot each other.
What
Well,
happened to Charlie? Come on, don't say that they don't. Yeah,
still
we
shoot each other,
do.
but not. There aren't duels anymore. That had to be the low
Okay,
point.
well now it's a little more shady. You're out there
But
talking
in
about
Canada, you don't hear much about the Conservative Party.
So interesting story because it recently came out as I think yesterday. CBC, that's like the Canadian Broadcasting
Yep.
Corporation. That is where like mainstream media extraordinaire in Canada, someone who formerly worked for them and alleges to be fired because he was not happy with the bias that there was in keeping conservative voices off the news and off of reporting. That this
When
is
was the last time the Conservative Party was in power in Canada?
it's been a minute because I think there was 11 years of Trudeau and how many I don't know.
Who was before Trudeau?
I want to wasn't that Harper? I think it was Harper.
Well, I remember
Harper-
Brian Mulroney. I once met him.
That was way back in
Yeah, he was at an Expos game. I met him.
Okay, cool.
He said, "Hey, kid."
He said, "Hey, kid." Okay.
I said, "Hey, kid."
Another beautiful Canadian moment for you.
Yeah. And my dad was like, "That's the Prime Minister." I'm like, "Why isn't there bodyguards around?" And they're like, "I don't know."
That's good.
That's the Prime Minister of Canada sitting right there. I was like, "Hello." He's like, "Hey, kid." I think I might have an autographed baseball from him.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's fun
That's my
trivia.
parents.
It's cute.
But I feel like
There is-
your version of the Republicans haven't been in power
Well, we
for a
don't
very
have
long
our
time.
version. Yeah,
But you do have a version of the Republicans.
we have
They're called. You just call it
the
conservative and liberal.
Yes. Well, conservative, there's liberal. We have NDP. Those are like the three main parties.
What's NDP?
New Democratic Party.
What do they? What do
So
they?
they're
feel?
more like if liberals are in the center, conservatives we're going right, and then NDP is further to the left.
So they're the
They're
crazy.
they're
left.
like social. They're like socialists. Like imagine Canada does identify, or most people see us as a socialistic kind of country. I grew up.
I think the policies.
That is
the
what
policies.
I was.
Let's talk about. You
Well,
mentioned
look
a
what
few.
they're doing. Like
Yeah.
even with the China thing.
Okay,
like,
let's talk
freedom of
about-
speech. We're about to
You keep-
pass a bill that's
you
going
middle
down the
talk
same.
3 times about MAID.
About me, I middle
So
talk.
the liberals are in charge in Canada. In the U.S., it's gone back and forth.
And it's getting-
We've gone Republic,
so-
Democrat the
And
last 4
what's
elections.
I don't know. Does this happen for you guys where people cross the aisle? Like I guess people go independent
Rarely.
sometimes, but it's pretty rare. So we've had 2 major jumps recently. One from NDP, one from the Conservatives that went from their party to the Liberals. So now they are sneaking up on
The
a
liberals
majority.
are in charge of your
Yeah.
country. Now,
Yeah.
there is some benefit to liberalism. Without liberalism, I just want to context.
Yes. Yeah.
Without
But
liberalism,
liberalism doesn't
we don't get
mean
rid
what
of
it
slaves.
was.
Women don't vote. Like
Agreed.
Jews can't go to the country club. So Democrat liberalism, Jews traditionally are extremely democratic because the Democratic Party traditionally, the liberalism traditionally was breaking down barriers. But that has
100%.
gone off the rails, in my opinion.
It's gone
in-
wild.
in Canada. Let's
Well,
talk about.
I think in the States too.
But at least there's a counterbalance in the States. In Canada, there's no counterbalance, or at least like there feels.
Mm.
I'm going to throw out words. You tell me what you think. MAID. Explain to people
medically
what MAID
assisted
means.
dying. So
Explain what it means to the audience.
what it means that if what started as something that was to be offered to people who had terminal situations, so you have cancer, you're suffering, that you could get permission from a physician to end your life, and they help you
Right. That was the
in
original.
that transition. Now it's not terminal, but you really struggle, and you get permission from I think it's 1 to 3 physicians, and you can end your life. More recently, I think there was someone who was like 25 and had bipolar, and was able to kill themselves or have medically assisted suicide or death. And it's becoming a slippery
It's a
slope. There's like the doctor
super
death.
liberal.
There's a lot of really interesting things. I really do believe the term that best suits, I don't think it's just Canada, but North American or the West ideology is this suicidal empathy. I think we're in Canadian specifically, we identify as kind and caring. I think the intention is good. I think we feel bad for things done in the past, But I'm not sure why we have to over every other country that's ever been conquered, or what have you. It seems it's an interesting stance, and it feels very woke and not well thought through. And it's definitely not something that's getting people's input or our thoughts on it. So it feels very scary. Like we're losing a lot of control. It's
I
getting,
think the liberalism, both internally and on the international stage, does not have a proper check and balance in Canada.
I think that's a fair assessment.
And in America, our best situation is where the executive, the president, is one party, and Congress is the other party.
Is the other to keep it.
It just cancels everybody out. Okay, when
Yeah.
they happened with Trump the first time, they impeached him 4 times, but it's like, okay, whatever. But he couldn't just act unilaterally. It's dangerous in any when both of them are under one, and then you're appointing judges.
So
you get the judicial under it.
imagine,
crazy.
just to come back to what I was talking about before with the CBC, imagine in Canada, if there is like the way that information is disseminated, you already have like liberal majority in power. In addition to that, you have your major dissemination of information is only allowing liberal rhetoric.
So the media is liberal, and the government's
and
liberal.
and it's government run.
And
so
you don't
everything.
have any media that's conservative in Canada.
You not to any impressive.
Like we don't have a Fox News.
There
We
is
don't have
nothing that's really the equivalent.
Newsroom. Remember that kid that we used to know who worked for that news channel that's just crazy conservative.
Yes, exactly. We do not really have the
balance.
equivalent. So, and I'm not saying like I don't even know what I am anymore because I don't seem to fit into any of them. I'm like an item by item person. I think you are the same.
Yeah, I look at the issue and I decide what I want to do.
Depending on, own life experience, and we try to be critical about it.
I'm pro-abortion, but I also don't want taxes.
Those are hot ones.
Those
I'm
are
not gonna
conflicting things. Those are conflicting concepts.
they really
I'm
are.
absolutely pro-abortion, women's body letter, don't bring children.
You're not pro. You're pro women's rights, and that is an admirable thing. I don't think that men.
I think a
should
woman
be making
has
a
a pregnancy
decision
she
for
doesn't
women.
want. It doesn't work. It's inconvenient.
Or there's rape. There's a variety
There's
of things
1,000
where you
reasons
should be able
she should be able to be like,
to
let's not bring children into the world who don't belong.
Yep.
But at the same time, I'm like, stop raising my taxes. I do not want my taxes spent on wasted government programs.
It's
So I'm on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah.
I am in favor of international. America should lead the way morality wise. We should intervene on people's behalves.
There's a lot of moral conundrums.
So we
at
got
play right
economy, we got healthcare,
Yep.
we got liberal.
Yep.
Let's end the show with a last hot button topic for both of us.
Okay. I'm almost afraid.
Most
to
of
hear.
our other episodes are super funny, by the way.
I don't know if we're gonna have any listeners
I don't
after
know.
this.
How many?
If
how
you're
many?
racist
Wouldn't it be
remarks
funny
on
if we did it
occasion
live and we
or
saw
silly-
Instagram followers going
lower,
down?
Yeah, they're like, fuck these two.
I know Chris Anton love us, but we said I wrote down 4 topics: economy, healthcare, liberalism, and just a balance.
Yes.
It doesn't.
Yep.
Canada doesn't have a balance. Last topic, which you have referenced a few times: Americans rude, loud; Canadians kind, nice. That is the perception. I want to hit the bullshit button on that. Canadians are not nice. They're not in general. I'm not going to, obviously, we're not generalizing, but I'm just going to give you a specific example.
Yes. Okay.
I guess I just said Canadians are not
nice.
nice. That's a pretty generalization. I would say there are examples out there where it doesn't seem like the Canadians are very nice.
We're not
As
trending.
in
Yeah. Okay.
the Aboriginals. That didn't go well. Americans don't really hate Canadians or have a strong opinion about them at all. Like, Sean would be like, do you hate Canadians? You'd be like, no, whatever. That's cute. Okay. I've always liked Canadian. I got a friend. I got a this. I got a that. But when you say Americans to Canadians, the last 24 months, man, they hate Americans. Like, they're angry about Americans.
I don't know. Some are able to say that they just.
You constantly introduce me as your American husband, and people go,
No,
he's
you know
American. I'm like, what? Can you imagine? I would say, hey, this is my wife. She's Canadian. And my friends would go, "Ugh." Like, there is a brimming anger towards Americans in Canada, to all Americans. I don't feel like we're doing that to you.
I agree. When I was younger, when I was 16, and it was a source of pride to put your Canadian flag onto your backpack. And Americans couldn't because, and I even remember being in Italy, and you could tell if a Canadian and an American was in a store, because the Europeans would be like, oh, and I'd be like, oh yeah, yes, or you hear that they're saying I'm from New York or whatever. The way that they treat the people around them it was generally less kind. I do think generally, especially back when I was 16, so that it's been a minute since those days, but I do think that Canadians conducted themselves, at least at the superficial level, we behaved more polite. Americans, much more brash, like louder. There was just a lot more to the persona, and you didn't really give a shit. I think Sean's right. I don't think you have any fucks to give about what anybody else thinks. 'Cause you're like, we're number one. You're just jealous. The rest of us were like, you're kind of dicks, and you think you're the best, but there's a pompousness that came with it. Now, none of us knows what it is like to be the best, the biggest military power in the world, or any of those things. So I guess we have to, come at you for something.
But I think there's an anger in Canadians about Americans, and then
that's new. That's the past couple of years, but that's been brought on by the
last 24
Trump
months.
Yep.
Jewish Canadians were the most targeted religious group in 2024.
Yeah, 2 synagogues shut up this past week.
In 2023, there were 6,219 anti-Semitic incidents in Canada. It has actually gotten worse since then, and it is up 124%.
I've heard higher than that.
There are approximately 17 anti-Semitic against Jewish people in Canada a day, which is funny because my grandparents, who survived the Holocaust in Europe, used to say, when shit gets real, we're going to Canada. That is like ingrained in every Jewish person's who grew up in the 70s and 80s and 60s, 70s, and 80s, 90s. Shit gets really bad, we'll make a run for Canada. And The Handmaid's Tale,
that's where they went.
They go to Canada. Like everybody always says, when things get bad, when people turn on each other, when there's this, we'll go to Canada. Safe in Canada. You won't get persecuted in Canada. You won't get discriminated in Canada. And the Canadian anti-Semitic thing is out of control. You were the victim of an anti-Semitic. Why don't you just talk about that?
No, I know. Well, that was when I was going through my conversion class. It was like one of the second class or something like that. And it was right after October 7th. And we were leaving the class on a Thursday night, went to up to a stop sign. This weird male Canadian stepped in front of our car, faced us with the most sinister look. Like I've never been looked at that way before. And then he gave us 2 Hail Hitlers. And we ended up getting him arrested for the hate crime. And because he had been running amok around our synagogue for a period of time. But yeah, I mean, I had never experienced anything like that before. I probably would have thought that it was maybe exaggerated or nothing like what it actually is, but it has become awful. You hear it all over the, not necessarily over the news in Canada, because I feel like they like to sweep that one under the rug.
Which we talked about in terms of the Canadian media being liberal and just not playing importance to this. But
but real life people who are experiencing these things, us included, we know the reality.
In July 2025, there were 781 anti-Semitic incidents in Ontario schools.
Yeah.
781 in 1 month.
I don't doubt it.
No, sorry, that's from October to January. Sorry, that's in 6 months.
October to January is 6 months?
October, November, December. 4 months? Yeah, it says from October. Sorry, I wrote that wrong. 781 anti-Semitic incidents in Ontario schools between October 2023 and January 2025, over a 2-year period.
Okay.
781, almost one a day.
Yep.
In British Columbia, 2025, community survey by the Jewish Federation of Greater Vancouver, which we know the rabbi of that, 62% of the Jewish community members in BC had experienced at least one anti-Semitic incident. 93% felt less secure in democratic, safe, free British Columbia.
Yeah.
We don't feel safe.
No, I don't.
We know students on the University of Toronto, McGill, are harassed daily just because they're Jewish.
Yeah.
Affiliation, what they feel about Israel, whatever. it's wild that a democratic Western country can now face this. Europe, we see, is completely gone.
Yeah.
But it's hard to just come full circle. It's hard to go like, oh, we're kind and caring. And I'm like, this whole country is you won't even let us put our Hanukkah menorah out.
But can I add a layer of complexity to that?
Yes.
I think what Canadians are trying to do, I don't think that the higher up people in government are trying to be anti-Semitic in words that they use, how they discuss things. I think what they're trying to do in their own mind is to be equal across the border, regardless of who's at fault. They don't want to offend anybody. You want to come off as very tolerant and very kind to all groups, all minorities. And in doing so, I think you really do a disservice to the people that are being targeted more often than others. And it's not fair to be, or it's not appropriate even to be fair across the board.
And those activities happened when the war started?
No, it's going on right now. There were 2 synagogues in Toronto that were shot this
Since
weekend.
October 7th.
This
was
is in the last
last 2
2
weeks.
days.
Yeah.
There are 2 synagogues that have been attacked. But you can't
I
consider
don't know
yourself
that
a
this
kind
is-
and
yeah.
caring personality, and our culture is kind and caring and accepting when there are 17 anti-Semitic incidents in your caring culture. Now, what triggered the people is a different story. It's going on all over the world, no doubt. But there are more anti-Semitic incidents in Canada than there are in the U.S. percentage-wise based on population. And we do
there's-
not, like, you
Yep.
won't let us put up, I wanted to put up, for Hanukkah, I wanted to put up one of those things, like those flowy thingamajigs in front of our house. I wanted to decorate, and you won't allow it.
No.
And your
Hey,
mom, when we lit Hanukkah candles, which is a very overtly Jewish symbol.
Yeah.
And as soon as you left town, your mom was like,
We're closing.
"Candles
it.
go. We're not looking for trouble."
Yeah. Listen, we're in inflammatory times. We're in polarized times.
Yeah.
We can, agree or disagree on the ideology of it. Whether like some people like China's influenced all of this through TikTok, and they want to divide us, and they've incorporated woke ideology to make us furious with one another. If that's the case, mission accomplished.
I just always thought shit hits the fan, anti-Semitism. Obviously, I'm very, very overtly Jewish and have strong Jewish identity. I always thought shit hits the fan, first stop
Coming-
Canada,
coming to
second stop
Vancouver.
Israel.
Yeah.
And now I'm 48 years old, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't think we have a long-term play if we're going to be overtly Jewish. Like, obviously we live in Canada, but like we
Yeah,
have to
much
have
like-
at least a thinking about, hey, I don't know that we're safe here, or that we
This is
should
where- well,
we should be more careful in Canada than we should in the US.
I hear what you're saying, and I also hear what Sean is saying. I think that there's something to be said for not allowing that the fear to win and or to propagate it. I think that you're right. You do have a voice. You have a big voice in dentistry, and you have a lot of people under your scope.
Every Instagram
But
post
at the
I do
same time-
has an anti-Semitic not every, sorry. Many Instagram posts that I make just about dentistry or funny stuff has trolls who send anti-Semitic slurs my way.
That's part of the game. But then you have to. But that you just need to wash whatever. Sometimes it's bot. Sometimes it's just angry. Exactly.
Crazy. I think the difference is that we have a history of 5,000 years of persecution, and we go, hey, time to leave this country, time to leave that country, you did Jewish history, you know how many times this has happened, and you know how
How
careful
things go
you have to
cyclically
be.
through
We're
history.
in Spain,
Yes.
gotta
Yep.
leave Spain. We're in France, gotta leave Spain. We're in Poland, Hungary, Eastern
I don't
Europe,
think
Russia, time
anybody
to go.
thought that this that these sentiments would resurface so soon after. The
I mean, I'm
1930s.
not saying U.S. is immune to anti-Semitic. There was an anti-Semitic attack in San Jose, California yesterday. But I just want to say that in our U.S.-Canada angle, we're more concerned about our Jewishness in Canada than we are in U.S.
Okay, fine.
you agree to that?
Yeah, I just don't want to end on that. I don't think that that's the thing that either defines who or what we are. But I do think that Canadians should be working on if we're going to be known as the nice guys, I think we need to remember that. I think we need to carry ourselves that way in conversation. Times are hard. If we are the light, then let's go back to whatever those roots are. I think right now we've all got spicy. We're off our, I don't know, we just don't feel a centered, balanced, whatever, and we're not carrying ourselves as we should be.
Just know, if you guys ever want a long-term place, Fiji is known as the nicest place in the world. All right.
That's where we need to
is
go.
the Maldives the same as Fiji?
No.
Or are those different?
Oh my God. You you ignorant American. The actual fuck.
Hit the what the fuck.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Is that Ugly Andrea?
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Ooh. What the fuck?
Which one is which one's the what the fuck? Oh fuck. Oh good lord. Really?
I mix up.
Actually,
Can you
I
please
mix
put
up
up a
Fiji
world
and the
map?
Maldives.
right now it says South Africa, Fiji, Canada, Mexico, and Nepal are the nicest.
South Africa.
South Africa's
South
This is the most fucked up. Okay.
South
everything-
Africa's the nicest.
They're fucked and
no,
yeah.
I don't
yeah.
think so.
This is a weird
Yeah.
quote.
Google
Google the
there.
robots?
Google AI robots are from South Africa
Wow,
because
wow,
that's
wow,
the
wow.
dumbest thing I ever heard.
They're-
We can all agree we hate South Africans.
Oh, what? That is
Thanks,
not,
everybody.
Oh my God.
That's a good way to end
Oh,
the show. Is that a better
Jesus.
way to end the show?
That's better. Yeah. Oh my Lord.
They were terrible
Oh,
people.
it's been a nice
South
run,
Africans,
guys.
terrible
It was a
people.
great run.
Their whites
we
were terrible,
almost
and now
got
the
up to
blacks-
1,500.
That's good. All right. Well,
Followers.
that is our spicy show, USA versus Canada, part 2. We are not just pretty faces and funny people. We have real opinions, arrogant opinions, and misguided opinions. And we love you, and you're our fans. And this had nothing to do with dental. And that's okay, because we're mediocre dentists, so why would we
And
talk about
humans.
it? Mediocre humans. Thanks, everyone. Good night.
The mediocre dentist, the mediocre dentist. 'Cause sometimes you just feel mediocre. The mediocre dentist, the mediocre dentist. I am mediocre, you are mediocre, and that's not that bad.